Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my video on where I find out which is the best cream liqueur. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. At Christmas time, a lot of us go out and buy cream liqueurs, especially Bailey's, the Irish cream liqueur. It's the original and supposedly best, but is it the best? I've got three other cream liqueurs to go up against Bailey's. One is Amarula from South Africa, one is Bourbon Cream from the USA, and finally Lidl supermarket own brand Dundalgan Country Cream. So how do they compare in terms of price and ingredients? Well, the Bailey's is £22.50 a litre, it's 17% ABV, and it's made of Irish whiskey, neutral spirit and cream. The Amarula is £24 a litre, it's also 17% ABV, and it's made up from Amarula fruit spirit. The spirit is made from double distilling Amarula wine, which is already 2 years old, and it's also mixed with cream. The Bourbon Cream comes from the Buffalo Trace distillery, and that's made up of Buffalo Trace Kentucky straight whiskey and cream, and it's 15% ABV, and that comes in at £24 a litre too. And finally, the supermarket own brand is the Dundalgan Country Cream. That is 12% ABV, it's £6.40 a litre, and it's made up of Irish spirit, wine and cream. Shall we find out how they compare? On to the liqueurs. So the way I thought I'd do this is completely blind. Obviously, I've got an unconscious bias towards Bailey's, and I didn't want that to feature in how I decide which is best. Obviously, there's also lots of other cream liqueurs on the market. This is only a cross-section to give you an idea of whether or not I think there's a better one out there than Bailey's. Potentially there is, potentially there isn't. I'm going to taste them blind. Obviously, I'll put them in these glasses so I can't work out which is which. I don't want the viscosity or the colour to sway my opinion either. And my wife has randomly put them in these glasses so I won't know what they are until the end. I'll give them a taste and I'll see if I can pick out the Bailey's, but more than anything, I want to just see which is the best tasting. And I'll probably rank them in order. Right. Let's start with the first one. It smells a little spirity, but I'm not really getting much, not in terms of vanilla or anything. Let's move on to the palate. It's got nice consistency. It's got vanilla, bit of caramel. Doesn't seem too high and like ABV and spirity. Really is quite pleasant. Nice and sweet. Yeah, I really like that one. I don't think I'll dislike any of these, but I will obviously have a preference. I'm going to have another sip though. Yeah, it's nice and sweet, nice and sugary. It's not too cloying or claggy in the mouth, and yeah, I like that one. It's a good starter. Let's move on to the next one. Right, this one instantly tastes vastly different, much fruitier and sweeter, a little bit thinner and a little bit more spirity. Yeah, without knowing, my guess would be that that's the Amarula because it's so fruity, but it'd be interesting to see how the others compare. Let's have another sip. Yeah, it's definitely thinner. Lovely and sweet. I like the sweetness. Definitely reminds me of sort of Christmas time and having a glass of a cream liqueur. It really is tasty. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see how this compares. Okay, my instant reaction with this is the Lidl Dundalgan. It's really thin. There's not much spirit. It's nice and sweet, nice vanilla. But it is, yeah, it's not bad. Let's have another sip. Yeah, it is. Not only is it a bit thin on the palate, it's a little bit thin on taste. There's not much there. It's sweet and quite sugary, and you can tell that there's obviously alcohol in it. There is a spirit sort of character there, but it's not very strong at all. I think if you put this with ice and didn't drink it quick enough, I think this would probably get watered down a bit too quickly. But yeah, it's still nice enough. Let's move on to the final one. Yeah, this has got quite a spirity character to it. It's quite sweet. There's vanilla. A little hint of orange in there, I'd say, though, in the background. It's got a nice sort of viscosity to it. It's quite creamy, quite thick. Yeah, let's have one more sip. Yeah, definitely a bit more spirity than all the others. My instant reaction is that's probably the Baileys, and so far that isn't my favourite, but not because it's not Baileys. It's that spiritiness. It really has got a tang. So that could be Baileys. Obviously, it might not be. You'll know because you can see on screen now. But yeah, the spiritiness of that compared to even this one here, which was quite light in flavour. Yeah, I'm leaning towards these two as my favourites, but I'm just gonna have another sip of them so I can best judge. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, I like this. It's got really nice sort of caramel flavour. That fruitiness has died down a bit, but that could be also because I'm switching between. Obviously, I'm not trying to be the world's best expert at blind tasting these. It's just personal opinion, but the fruitiness has gone a little bit with this, but it's got a really nice caramel sweetness. It's not too spirity. The flavour of the drink comes across really well, and yeah, I do like that. But I'm going to taste this one once more and I'll tell you which is my favourite. Yeah, having gone back to this one, this one's more like a traditional Irish cream liqueur, that sort of style that is in my head of what it should taste like. But I think I prefer this one the most. I think this is my favourite. I'd say that'd be number two, second favourite. And I think because this, although this is pleasant, I think it just lacks a little bit of alcohol. It just didn't have enough alcohol flavour coming through. So this would be my third and this would be last place. Right, should we find out what my favourite is? No, what my favourite is? It was this one. Should we find out what this one is? well, find out what all of them are. Right, so this is the Amarula. So the Amarula was my favourite. It's definitely got a really nice flavour. Obviously it's not made from whiskey. There's no whiskey in it at all, unlike the Buffalo Trace and the Bailey's had whiskey. The Dundalgan from Lidl's had Irish spirit in it. So this was my favourite, and it's the Amarula. This one, let's find out what this is. My guess would be Buffalo Trace, but let's have a look. No, so that is the Bailey's. So this is the Bailey's. That's interesting. So the Bailey's has a nice flavour, a little bit more spirity than this one. I think this one definitely has a nice character, but it's interesting to see that obviously my preconceptions of what could be Bailey's, I thought it was that one, but as that one's weak, that one must be the bourbon cream. So let's have a look. And that is the bourbon cream from Buffalo Trace. And this one must be the Lidl's Dundalgan, which it is. So obviously it is personal taste and preference, but the fact that people see Bailey's as the pinnacle, it's obviously following a style or a recipe which they've made for years, which millions of people, I'm sure, all around the world drink, and it is a tasty drink. But it goes to show that even in this small selection from different countries and different price brackets, there are other products that you can consider. The Bailey's at this time of year is often on offer. It's about £10 a litre in the UK, which is amazing value. Obviously, if you're on a budget, the supermarket owned brand, and this won't be unique, I'm sure other supermarkets will have very, very similar offerings around the sort of same price bracket, but this is £6.40 a litre, which is also very good. The Amarula, although that's £24 a litre, on offer that can be around the sort of £14 a litre, so it's still good value. And the bourbon cream, obviously, probably much easier to find in North America than obviously the supermarket owned brands and even possibly Amarula. But the bourbon cream is £20 a litre when it's on offer in the UK, so it's still not too bad. Obviously, it's the most expensive here when it's on offer. But I think when Amarula is on offer, I'll probably buy that in future instead of the Bailey's. But obviously, don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. There's a number of brands that I haven't included here that I've tried in the past. Notably, some of the Scottish distilleries like Edredale and Arran, they do their own cream liqueur. There's also some from English whisky distilleries that I've tried, and Welsh distilleries. So the Merlin from Penderyn, that's normally around £10 when it's on offer for a bottle, and that's also very nice. But yeah, hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully I've introduced you to something different or a new brand that you may not have heard of. And yeah, if you can find any of these on offer, give them a go, but my favourite is the Amarula. I'll see you next time. Slauncher. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.